Everybody, we are live. You're not here yet unless you are Walt or Melissa or me. Walt or Melissa, you guys want to say hi?
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome in.
I'm going to pull up the chat, see who's here. It's real early. We're not even a minute in, so I'm going to make sure I turn off all my stuff like I always forget to do. See there? I already did it. That's what I get. So we got two in the house already. I'm going to try to set up so I can see the chat and see your guys' faces. But I'm really excited to have you guys on. You guys have been one of my favorite channels since before I actually felt like I know you. Now I feel like I know you. You, Walt, are in my our fantasy baseball league together.
Sure.
By the way, Steve, I don't know if he's here yet, but I took the lead over Steve today. I'll take it. But your channel has been one of my favorites for a long time. You do some of the bracket things that I love. You're a baseball fan. You guys are baseball fans. You guys are obviously a happily married family like we are. I just love you guys to death, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. What made you start your YouTube channel? Let's start with that.
It's really weird. We just started it to start it. There was no real, what I would say, goal in mind. We just were like, we really like YouTube. We think we could do that. We've got a lot to offer when it comes to Disney. We've been so many times. We know a lot about it. Yeah. Let's see if we can make some videos, see if people have questions and help people out. Because for a while there, we were thinking about possibly being travel agents, Disney travel agents.
Oh,
on our own.
I didn't know that.
It didn't quite work out. So we were like, that's okay. And when we were like, well, let's do YouTube and we can help people that way and try it that way. But we were so early on and off again with it.
And we were doing our podcast at that point in time, and we decided we wanted.
I have that down to ask you about. Yes.
Yep. And
we figured we'd throw in some videos to kind of offset that. It was more just kind of like, oh, well, we could record some stuff, and that way people could look at that too. And we just really weren't consistent with it at all.
Not early on. We weren't
with the YouTube or with the podcast.
With the YouTube.
With the YouTube, the podcast.
We were very consistent now, if I may say so.
Yeah, we try. I mean, we do more streaming than we do actual vlogs or videos, only because for us, we find it to be more interactive. I like doing videos, don't get me wrong, and we always look at them as we want them to be fun and informative.
Yes.
But streaming is it's a good way to really know your community.
Yes.
And meet people, meet new friends, and it's been a blast.
I say that often. When I started to stream, I didn't think I would like it. I want to give it a try. I want to, give it the old college try with this YouTube thing. I actually prefer it now. And it's because of this. Like, you two are my friends. Like, if I bump into you in Disney World, like perhaps in August or something, I'm going to give you guys hugs. And I mean, you can't get that in just the comment section, right, of a video.
No, I agree. There's nothing like, the comments are great. And we're not here without the comments, first off. So we need everybody that's in the chat. There's nothing like having people here. That's why we're here, is to interact. But you're right, having that one-on-one with the stream with another person on the other line, that's where you make the connections, the big connections.
I'll say this. Go ahead, Melissa. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. No, I was just going to say that's what kind of made me really grow to love this more. I would do it with Walt because we like doing it together, but it wasn't as big of a passion for me as it was for him. And now that I've made a connection with some people out here, that it's really great to have friends that share a lot of the same interests. And like you said, very similar experiences and goals and things. It's been a lot of fun, and it's really changed my feeling toward it. I enjoy it very much.
Yep.
So Walt, and maybe Melissa shouldn't listen to this, or maybe she should. I don't know. I got to get whatever magic you have to get your wife on. I need to get that because everybody loves my wife way more than they like me. So I need to get her. She went shopping. Hey, you're gonna be able. Okay, I'll go to Walmart. Whatever. Thanks. Well, let's say hi to some people in chat. Juan's in the house. Welcome in, Steve. Hey, Steve, do you see the score? I've had a good day, buddy. Welcome in. Video call-in show in the house. I love your show, buddy. Welcome in. Video call-in show. I tried to sign in and go onto your show the other night. I don't know if it was me or I don't know. We'll have to talk. But anyway, great channel. Go check him out. Jack Sandy Claus in the house. Michelle Verico in the house. That Florida Feeling in the house. Welcome in. Oh, and chat just popped up. I was just going to say explosive. Phoenix in the house. He says that they say that DWA will be here soon. The busy little house in the house. Jelly's Journeys in the house. Main Street ASA in the house. Ooh, I like that. RVing in the house. Mickey Bunch in the house. There's Chris, Disney World Adventures in the house. More Sunshine, Please in the house. Man, you guys are bringing in a crowd, my friends. Walto Graham's in the house. MouseTalk, hey, you're in the house and you're in the house. I like that. Christie's Corner in the house. Boy, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Disney Nerd Herders in the house. I watched you guys this morning. Brandy and Dave in the house. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll say it now. I'm going to be watching the interaction with my guest a little more than chat, but I'm going to try my hardest to get there. Please don't feel ignored. And we're going to be a hard break tonight on the hour because our friends, a Disney Life for Me's trivia is tonight.
Yep.
And I want to step on their toes, so we'll do that. So you started with the podcast. Like, I don't think I knew. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I might have this wrong. I think I did not know about your podcast until I got to know you guys on your streams and your videos. But it sounds to me like you started your podcast first. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yep. We did podcasts and we were very religious with it. We did it every 2 weeks. We would post a new podcast. We didn't do it weekly because we wanted news to kind of build up, Disney news to build up. And we thought, let's do it every 2 weeks. So we did. And we got up to like 92 episodes. And we stopped for a while. We have our reasons why we stopped, but we tried to start back up more on the YouTube side of things now. So you'll find the podcast on YouTube, where we might put it back on iTunes and other platforms down the road.
You were just reading my mind. Where can people find that? I know. I think, did I see Brandy and Dave are in the house? I love podcasts. I love Disney podcasts, and I love some other podcasts too.
Right.
But sometimes they're hard to find unless they're on. Well, let me shut up. Where can they find your podcast? And are you still doing them regularly?
Yep. Well. Not as regularly, but we're putting them on strictly YouTube for now. Okay. As time goes on, we'll try to get them on other platforms. But podcast, you can listen to it on YouTube, and it's the same thing. You don't necessarily have to watch the video side of it. So strictly right now, it's just on YouTube, and we're to the point where we're getting it pretty much every 2 weeks. We might run over a little bit here and there, depending upon how life goes. But yep, that's where we get them, and it's all Disney news. And we try to throw some like, did you know that, and this date in Disney history, stuff like that in there as well.
I have to ask you, when I had a series on here for a while, Disney news and stuff, and I'm picking in because I like it, because I miss it. But there was a time when it was brand new to me, that I felt like I didn't want to waste anybody's time, like where I got my news. I'm in Texas, man. You're in Maryland, right? And so I thought, well, these people can get the news somewhere else. But it shocked me, my mom that finally said, no, I love that one. Mm-hmm. You're curating. Is that the right use of the word? You're getting the information together. Like, I've been on the Star Wars YouTube channel all weekend. I bet you have been a little too.
Sure, absolutely. Yep, we have.
Yeah, and there's so much news all the time. And just because I know it or you know it, doesn't mean everybody knows it. So right. How do you handle that? Because it's been an issue for me when a new thing comes out. I don't know. How do you determine put on the podcast and or on the news portion of your videos and your live streams?
Depends on how important the news is, how big it is. It also depends on how new the news is. If it's news that probably was 2 weeks ago, unless it's really big news, we probably won't put it in there. Or unless it's fun news, things that we think would be really neat or obscure. We tend to add those in. Like last week, we put in there the fact that Disney now charges for you to get your stuff delivered to your room, in-room packages delivered. Mm-hmm. Well, we thought, maybe most people may not know those little tidbits. Yeah. So those kinds of news things we put in there. We try to find things that aren't going to be the giant news.
That'll be helpful.
Yeah, that'll be helpful, but we'll also include the giant news.
You guys definitely have that. For me, from a viewer standpoint or a listener standpoint, you guys definitely have I want to help you have a more fun vacation kind of vibe. And it sounds like that's what you're going for. Is that right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. We always say that we feel everybody should try Disney at least once. But with it, I want you to have the best trip possible. And the reason why I do that is, and a part of the reason why we did this, why it was such a passion for me, was I'll never forget this couple that went to Disney for the first time. And I said, oh, great. How was it? How was your trip? They said it was terrible. I'm like, what do you mean it was terrible? They said the lines were long for all the rides. We couldn't get reservations for any restaurants. I was like, well, when did you book your reservations? They're like, we just walked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, they didn't know. And now they had a terrible trip. If they had known and planned correctly, they probably would have had a fabulous trip. So that was kind of the what's the word, genesis for me, or how it originated for me. I was like, man, I really want to help people, because I don't want them to not have a great trip. You go to Disney, you spend that kind of money, have a great trip.
Right.
You know what? I totally can appreciate that. I've had two very, very good friends, people who go to our church, both, and it doesn't matter. And in the last, 2 weeks, separate trips, one to Disney World, one to California. And they both said when they got back, oh my gosh, we should have asked you. And then their list of questions. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. Like you see those memes, at least I see those memes, like when somebody's talking about how much they know about Disney, and I'm over here thinking, yeah, you're probably doing that wrong, but how much to tell them, how much to, hey, I know more than you, or hey, can I help? You know, it's fun to have the channels like you guys, just to give them, I guess, the more return on their investment, right?
Right.
Absolutely. We want them to have a great trip. That's exactly
funny
right.
you say that, because you're right. I think some people think when you start talking too much and they're kind of like turned off by it.
Overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed.
Depending on who it is you're talking to, you have to tread lightly, because they can just be like, yeah, whatever. You know?
Yeah, why do you think you know so much? And then they come back and you're like, you could have saved me $300, and yeah, I'm sorry, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I don't want them to feel overwhelmed too, because when it comes to a Disney trip, I always try to tell folks, it's not Hershey Park. It's not Busch Gardens. It's not Six Flags. It's not King's Dominion, you know, whatever it may be, the rides near you. It's just different. Yeah. You have to remember that. It's a theme park, but it's not.
Yeah, it's definitely a different animal. A lot of new faces in this chat here. I'm so glad you guys are here. Happy Lux, welcome in. Cam in the house, what's going on? 40 Below Life, welcome in. Walter Grams, I think I said hi to you, but hi to you twice. Disney Nerd Herders, no, I used to be in California. I'm in Texas. Mickey's Magic's in the house. Welcome in, Meg. Love you. Glad you're here. So one of the things, actually, Meg jumping in right there makes me think of this. You and Steve and you guys, you have, I love the brackets. I love brackets. I'm obsessed with brackets. I work with kids. I'm a sports nut. I've been doing brackets in my sleep for the craziest lunatic, nobody would think you'd do that things my whole life, until I met the Disney community. The Disney community is all in on brackets, and I love it so much. You gotta, it doesn't matter. I could be in the middle of a work meeting, board meeting thing going on. If I know one of your brackets is going on, I'm trying to get the heck out of the meeting, because I just love that. I mean, sometimes I don't even respond. Sometimes I'm just listening and I'm arguing with people to myself about what they picked. But I love those. What made you guys do those? Because I'm kind of overly obsessed with those things.
I originated that probably 4 years ago. 4 years ago, before we even became, you know, big on YouTube. On our Facebook page, which we have like over 4,000 followers, I said, you know what? I'm going to do a bracket about Disney rides and attractions. Just let's just do it. And every day I would throw up a new attraction and, you know, a matchup, and say, here you go, vote on it. And people, it really took off. And ever since then, we do an annual Mouse Madness, you know, play on March Madness, but we call it Mouse Madness. And, you know, for the first few years, we just did it strictly on Facebook. And then now we've kind of branched out to YouTube and Twitter to bring more people involved. But now, ever since then, I was like, well, you know, you can do a bracket on anything. As long as you can find 64, you know, you can do a bracket on anything. I already have another bracket that I'm already getting ready. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but I think it's going to be a really good bracket.
It's awesome. I can say that. I'll say it's awesome. I love those. And do you ever do, so again, I work with kids. I run an after-school program. I've been with the Boys and Girls Club since '93. We're not in the Boys and Girls Club anymore, but we do tournaments from ping pong to, well, everything that's not nose picking, everything above nose picking. I can put it on the wall and I can make a bracket. And I've done double elimination with different numbers, and I've done triple elimination. Sure. I love it. It's so fun because it's so, you know, if you're visual, it's right there. If you just want to play the game, it's right there. But for me, what I love about yours and all the other people's in the chats that do them, and a couple times I've done them, is it gets this conversation. Like, so, Walt, me and you are baseball nuts. Right. You're the Baltimore Oriole, Cal Ripken. I'm the Dodger. I love this stuff. And it's, to me, it's much like being a baseball fan. We can argue Babe Ruth versus Mike Trout all day long because there's no right answer because they didn't play at the same time. Well, you can do that with Pirates of the Caribbean versus Haunted Mansion and everything else too. And it's just so much fun. I love it. I love to hear why is Melissa love that ride and Walt doesn't, or how come I've never understood what they love about that. Like, there's so many rides that you guys are passionate about that I'm like, that's boring, and vice versa. That's like my favorite thing, and they don't even ride that ride. Do you find that it gets the impetus on the conversation going, your brackets?
It absolutely does. Yep. It's what makes the bracket so much fun. is the contrast and the difference of opinions. And not only that, you then learn things. You learn things about the ride. You also learn things about the people. Because now you know what it is that kind of drives them, what it is that makes them tick. You're like, oh, really? You like Steve.
Yeah,
God bless him. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Steven, the people mover.
Steve, he thinks it's boring. So
that's funny. So I don't get the people mover. So me and you. So I was arguing with you, and you weren't even in the room last night. So so you love Star Wars. Is that fair to say? On a scale of 1 to 10, you love it like 3 million. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Me too. And we saw me and you see episode 8 exactly differently. Isn't that?
Yeah.
And me and you have a lot. I've told this to Steve a lot. I'm gonna say it to you for the first time that you're aware of. I got bad news. Me and you have a lot in common, buddy. But we disagree on episode 8. I love that. You're a good guy and you love it. And we're not the same, but you know what I'm saying? But we see it differently. I think that's fabulous. I love that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just the way it's how you see things. It's just that simple. It's just, people are going to see things different. Yeah, I agree.
So that's good. So let's talk about it. And I got both of you here. So let's just go into it. Your favorite ride and why. Who wants to start? For both of you.
Ladies first.
Oh my gosh. Well, one of my favorites, I don't know if I can even pick a real favorite. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. That's one of my top favorites. I remember one of our trips, it was down for refurbishment and it bothered me the whole time. And we'd walk by and I'd be like, ugh.
It was down the whole trip. Yeah, oh God, it was terrible.
Fun. And Spaceship Earth, that one I really love too. And that is hanging over me that they're going to close it for a whole 2 years. It is making me sick to my stomach. So
you love the nostalgia of it?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I just enjoy the ride too. I just like it. I think it's fun. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it. Obviously, for 2 years, they're going to be making some major changes. And I'm kind of excited for it, yet a little nervous. So I was one of the great movie ride lovers that really, I guess, needed some upgrades as well. And that still bums me out. So, hey.
There you go. Well, for me, well, hands down, it's Haunted Mansion's #1 for me. There's every other ride can be changed here and there, and it'll upset me if they do anything with that ride. I may never go back to Disney. That's
so not true.
That's not true. But it would be hard.
So to give you your side of the argument on something. So I love that they made him a little gray. You don't like that. If you know what we're talking about, if he was in his stream last night, you know what we're talking about. But if they made I'm upset about the Haunted Mansion movie because it might have been a good movie. It wasn't a good Haunted Mansion movie. So as a Haunted Mansion lover, well, go. What did you think about that? And
I hated the Haunted Mansion movie. I thought I hate to use. I don't like that word, but that movie was just real. Even with Eddie Murphy there, he's the only part of the movie that was even relatively good. The story was terrible. The script was terrible. Most of the acting.
It wasn't a Haunted Mansion movie.
No, it wasn't at all.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't a very good movie. But God bless those who like it. It just wasn't for me. I agree 100%. But Haunted Mansion's a great ride. My other favorite has got to be definitely Spaceship Earth. I agree with Melissa there. I really love Everest.
I do too.
I think Everest is a great ride, and I think the ride that never comes up on anybody's list, at least not that I can remember, is the Safari, Kilimanjaro Safari.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Me too. I love it. I just think it's great to be able to just be out in the open like that in the savannah to see all the animals. It's awesome.
Yeah, I grew up in San Diego County, and we have the Wild Animal Park. It's now called Safari Park. Yep. My wife actually worked out there, and so I didn't even really understand what Disney Animal Kingdom was. I grew up in California, so I was a Disneyland kiddo. I was a Disneyland adult until 10 years ago. I didn't have an appreciation. I love Animal Kingdom now, but I didn't have appreciation for what it was. I was so happy, and it's one of my first things I do. Everest is my favorite coaster, and so we generally, since Pandora, we go there first because we go to Everest first because I want to ride it 2 or 3 times, and then we go over to Kilimanjaro Safari, and then we shop, and then whatever the kids want to do. I just love that area.
Yeah, me too.
Love it so much.
Yep, it's good wonderful. Stuff.
So that's a good segue to your favorite park and why?
Favorite park?
Epcot. Food.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Well, there's a lot more than just the food as to why you like Epcot.
I love Epcot. And it's ironic. Our first trip, I never set foot in Epcot. I didn't think I would like it. Our son was only 2 years old, our oldest son, and he was sick. And I had to stay with him in the hotel room. He had a fever of 103. They had to escort us out of Animal Kingdom the day before. They took us on a little cart out the park. And I just said, well, let me stay back with him today. And Walt and his dad went to Epcot that day. And I didn't think I had missed out on anything until our next trip. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't go to Epcot. So I really, really love Epcot.
I love Epcot too. World Showcase is like my jam. I love it. And I always say I love the food, but I love the cultures. Like I feel like I've never been to Italy, but I've been to World Showcase Italy. You know, and all those places. I just love it. I love cultures. Anyway, Walt, how about you? Favorite park and why?
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
it, by far. I mean, I'm a traditional guy. I like the old stuff. I liked it. Magic Kingdom is quintessential Disney. It is Disney World. It's got the music. It's got the castle. It's got the rides. It's got the characters. It's got Main Street. It's got everything. There's nothing not to like about Magic Kingdom. Stepping foot in Magic Kingdom for the very first time, we did it, and we were lucky enough to do it early in the morning before rope drop, because we had breakfast that morning at the castle, our very first trip. Walking down Main Street for the first time was, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I couldn't tell you anything about the other three parks the first time I stepped foot in them. I remember Magic Kingdom like it was yesterday. And it wasn't even our first day. It was our second day. Our first day, we went to Hollywood Studios.
Because we got there late in the day. And we wanted to make sure that we could go to rope drop for Magic Kingdom as our first trip.
But Magic Kingdom, to me, has everything that you need to have. It's if we had no other parks, as long as we had Magic Kingdom, I'd be fine. Now, I don't want to lose the other parks. Don't get me wrong. But I love Magic Kingdom. I love the railroad. I don't know. I just love it. I
do too. Hey, Nacho. Hey, Greg. Hey, Jellies. If I missed you, hey, Gems World. Hey, everybody in chat. Again, I know I'm talking more to the people, my guests than chat, but we'll get caught up. But I so appreciate you guys being here. So I have to ask you this, Walt. So I'm from Southern California. So most of my Disney life has been in California until about a decade ago, 8, 9 years ago, whatever. And I like Walt Disney World better. That makes all of my California friends mad because I've been to Disneyland. I swear I've been to Disneyland hundreds of times. I've been to Walt Disney World like 4. And so they don't understand when I say that, because if you're at Disneyland, you love Disneyland for the tradition. And you, my friend, love the tradition. Have you been to California yet? If not, why not? You must go.
No, we haven't. And why? Because money.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's about being able to afford it. Yep.
You will. So what I love about Disneyland above Walt Disney World is everything that you, my friend, will fall in love with. It's that Walt was there. It's that was all the things that
the firehouse.
I mean, yes. Oh, yes, so I go to the firehouse every time I'm there, and when I'm at Walt Disney World, I still love it. Don't get me wrong, I still love it, but it's not exactly the same because he wasn't upstairs. One of the things that I did not do in Disneyland was walking in Walt's footsteps, the VIP tour, because I always knew I could go back next time. It was never. I'm always with somebody, and I'm going to do what they want to do because I'm there a lot. Well, now I live in Texas, and I haven't done that yet, so I will be doing that when I'm back out there. But the part that I love, even though I like new things more than you do, I think probably. But that said, I love tradition so much, and it's the original castle. I think I've said this before. My grandfather worked in Disney before it opened, 53 and 54, and a little bit of 55, and so there's that family thing. And I want to take you to Anaheim and have you walk around there because I think it would be so fun to watch your face. See, he was really there, and
I think it would be fantastic. I'm a history guy anyway. I love history. There's just certain things about it I love, and to be able to say, oh my gosh, we would love to do it one day. We'll get there.
Someday. Exactly. Someday. All right. Favorite movies, Disney movies. Favorite movie and why?
Animated and live action, or just okay.
You're the guest. Whatever you want to talk about. I have a feeling you're gonna like animated more.
Well, animated, it's definitely The Lion King. I think that's probably the best animated movie Disney's ever made. Followed closely by Aladdin for me. I just love The Lion King. I think it's such a great movie. As for Pixar, it's easily Toy Story. I don't think there's anything like Toy Story. It doesn't matter which one. You can pick 1, 2, or 3. Probably 3 is the best. But that for me. And then live action, if we're not talking Marvel or Star Wars, probably Saving Mr. Banks or Pirates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that would be mine.
Banks does not get enough love.
Who's that?
Saving Mr. Banks doesn't get enough love.
It's a great movie. I'm sorry. I think it's fantastic.
It is really good.
I do too.
Yeah. What about you, dear?
I can't pick a favorite, but I have a close affinity with Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Had a very, I don't know, for some reason I was a teenager when they came out, but I love them to the point where one Christmas when the boys were real little, they got me a ceramic desk set for my office of Beauty and the Beast, and half of it's all broken and in pieces now, but I still have most of the pieces on my desk, and love it. So, because it's, it's nostalgia, it's memories for me. So they definitely are really important to me, and live action, probably Pirates for me as well. So
Pirates is great. I mean, come on, Pirates is great. So, okay, and Melissa, you made me think about it. So let's go to collectibles. I don't know if you guys collect stuff. Do you? I'm guessing, like all us Disney nuts, you probably do. I mean, Melissa just mentioned she's got some stuff. What do you collect, if you collect?
We don't. Actually, we don't. I have to admit that. We are not collectors in that respect. I think I collect more baseball stuff than I do Disney for now. I know that'll change in the future without getting into it too much. But, I mean, that's going to change, I think. But, I mean, like I have baseballs up there of Eddie Murray, Brooks Robinson, Reggie Jackson signed baseballs by these guys that I have in this case that's shaped like home plate. It's above us up there. But and I have signed pictures by Cal Ripken. I have Eddie Murray. I have, for my football team, I like the Rams, so I have Marshall Faulk and Kurt Warner signed stuff. But Disney, not yet. We haven't.
That's not necessarily true, only because there are two things that we always have to bring back when we go to Disney.
No, I can't remember.
We always get a new picture frame, and it has to be Disney themed, and we put a picture normally from our trip that year. So we have several, like right back from our first trip, and Christmas ornaments. So we actually have several Disney Christmas ornaments, and we even started really collecting those before our first trip to Disney, because we would go on the Disney store online, and they have these storybook collections from Disney. I don't know if you guys have seen them. So they look like they were in a giant book, and they would be themed to different movies. And we have a bunch of them. I wish they still made them.
Yeah, they're really nice. They're high quality too, Jeff. You're talking like real ceramic. They're really beautiful, very detailed. She's right. Those are the only two, but nothing like some people are major into pins or they're into the ears and stuff. We don't necessarily collect stuff like that, but just those two little things.
Megan in the chat saying she's going to get you into Disney pin trading. Because I like you guys, I'll tell you, don't do it, because it is fully adult Disney nut crack. Like I'm cracked, but it can't be more addictive than Disney pins. I love them. So we're moving right now. My whole, like, you can't see, thank goodness you can't see right there, but it's boxes of stuff everywhere. And today I moved, I boxed up a whole bunch of Disney frames, because we have pictures too, Disney ornaments and autographed baseball. So apparently,
we're all in the same boat. It's true.
Crazy. And my wall's got stuff too, but there's no Eddie Murray up there. But there's a lot of Steve over there.
I understand.
Well, it's
first baseman's that played on the dog.
Because we were watching Steve do a couple things with pins on his site, and then actually we were watching the Tim Tracker, and him and Jen went out to do pin trading. I ended up digging out the two things of pins we did have from when the kids were little. We were going through them, and I'm like, so you never know.
So I have to know, because I'm a Christmas ornament nut. My birthday's Christmas. My favorite person who's not me is also born on Christmas Day.
Wow, that's awesome.
Jesus. And I
absolutely.
And I love, anyway, I'm a Christmas nut. I love Christmas. And so every time we go anywhere that's got anything Disney, we're buying an ornament. What's your favorite Christmas ornament? And it's totally unfair because I couldn't answer that, but I'd love to know if you guys have one.
I see that.
Well, I don't know. I have a couple different Christmas ornaments that I have. I have one Christmas ornament of Mickey Mouse in a baseball. Ceramic, him swinging the bat. I really like that one.
If someone breaks into your house and steals it, it's most definitely me. That is awesome.
But we have that one. That's really nice. I like that one. And then we have a Christmas ornament of they're Mickey ears, and it's of Haunted Mansion. And
I've seen those. That was like a whole set, right?
Yeah, we have a few of those.
Yeah, we have a few of those. I really like that one.
I really wanted those, but I don't remember how much they were. But I know they were too expensive. For
Yeah,
me.
they were. Like
one was a Hatbox Ghost. Is that the Haunted Mansion one?
No, it was just it was like the wallpaper and the ears, and on the other side it was the house. If I'm remembering correctly, it's put away now, but I loved it. I thought it was awesome. We have several of those. We have Big Thunder, we have Space Mountain, we have Toy Story.
I know that set. I don't have any of those. That's very cool. Good stuff.
Yeah. So we're kind of collectors in that sense.
Yeah, in that respect. Do you have a favorite one? No. She likes all of them.
I know. I can't pick. It's like you can give me to pick between two things. It'll take me all night.
Yeah, that's true.
When I ask you about what you collect, you said, not much. And then we would talk about it for 5 minutes on all the stuff.
I know.
Yes,
yeah, it's true.
All right. So favorite Disney character, each of you.
Ooh, that's tough. For the Fab Five, because you always have to have a Fab Five in there. I mean, when you talk about Disney characters, you can't not include one of the Fab Five in your Disney characters.
I agree. So, sometimes I want to ask people their favorite Fab Five and then their favorite character, because
I think they're kind of too separate. Because
I agree.
You know, they're separate. Goofy is my favorite of the Fab Five. I really love Goofy. I love all of them, but he's my favorite. He's the one I got to meet when we go. Besides Mickey, but he's the CEO.
Right. Mickey, the other four, everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of in a class by himself. But Goofy, and then other than that, when it comes to Disney characters, are we including Marvel and Star Wars or just animated?
You're the guest, whatever you want to say.
Well, animated is probably.
You can say Bart Simpson now after this week, I suppose.
That's true. I guess you could. Animated, probably either Sheriff Woody.
Oh.
Mufasa.
Yeah, there you
the
go.
Genie. For live action Star Wars, it's either Han Solo or Luke Skywalker. It's actually gone more towards Luke. I love Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, you said that last night or whatever night that was. Yeah.
And Marvel, everybody knows with Marvel, it's Captain America, hands down. It's for me, it's not even close. But that's just me. I love
Team Iron Man right here. All right, Melissa. How about you?
I would have to say Genie and the Beast. I love very, very, very much. My favorite villain is Hades. Nice. And as far as my favorite superhero is Spider-Man, because it was since I was young. So it's not even so much since the new stuff's come out. He's just been, I used to watch Spider-Man and Friends when I was a kid. So it's stuck with me since I was little. I just can't get him out of my head.
I was like 6 or 7. I had my tonsils out, and my dad bought me a Green Goblin, I don't know, action figure. I don't even know what it was. And it was my introduction into the world of, well, comics, really. I didn't even know who it was, but I loved it. And actually, I like the new Spider-Man. The kid who plays Spider-Man now, he's actually pretty darn good. I didn't love the, oh my gosh, I can't think of his name.
Andrew Garfield.
Yes, I didn't love that time there too much, but I do like, is it Holland? Tom Holland, I think he's pretty good.
Tom Holland.
Yep.
He does a really good job. He kind of brings about that, because he is supposed to be much younger, and that's what I do like. I really liked Tobey Maguire, but they all, like we've talked about this in other streams, they all just seem so much older than they were portrayed to be. Yeah. So it just wasn't. I still love those movies, but I think Tom Holland does a really good job, and he has that young, characteristic. Our son Mason loves Tom Holland.
I discovered how much I liked him when, like, I'm not going to admit to crying on a stream or anywhere else, but on the Snap, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
Oh, yeah. We were all in the theater crying on that one.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, and let's go there. So how excited are you for this upcoming, is it Thursday? It's got to be this week, right? It's coming out?
What's that? Endgame? No, it's the 26th.
Oh, I'm off? Yeah, okay, a couple weeks. Well, are you excited about it as I lose my voice there?
I think very excited. I'm a little apprehensive because I think I know how things are going to go with my favorite character. But I think it's going to be great. What worries me moving forward, Jeff, I have to be honest, is how the MCU is going to fare moving forward. Nothing ever lasts forever, and at some point everything kind of falls off. Yeah, I wonder how much further they can keep going and still be the juggernaut that they are at this point.
I was never a comic book kiddo. Like, I watched in '89 or whatever when Batman came out. I actually liked that one with Jack Nicholson and
me too.
But after that, I thought comic book movies were pretty darn bad, pretty darn consistently until
yeah.
And it took me like my oldest daughter of the two that still live at the house is a huge Captain America fan. So I only got into it, frankly, to pester her. I'm Team Iron Man because she's and you know, but I've fallen in love with the movies. I mean, they are exceptional movies. Like, so the first Thor, I'm sorry, don't get mad at me in chat, but it was a horrible
think so?
movie.
Really?
Oh, we loved the first Thor. I thought the Dark War. Now, see, that's where we're different again, because Ragnarok, which everybody likes, I couldn't stand Ragnarok.
Yeah, I did. I was just gonna say, and I really see where that's so funny.
Yep.
I like the humor in it, but it definitely, I think they were trying too hard to be funny, so it kind of took away. But I enjoyed it. I can't say I didn't like it, but it definitely, I don't know.
See, I didn't go see Ragnarok to see a sitcom. I went to Ragnarok to see a comic book movie with action and adventure, which we got a little bit of, but I didn't want a sitcom. That's not why I'm there. So, but that's just me.
Oh shoot, I think I'm losing you.
No, we're good. I got you.
Okay, so then I have to ask you, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll just shut up. What's your Guardians of the Galaxy?
Well, I didn't know what to expect with the first one. I didn't know anything really about the characters. They were unknown to me, so I went in with an open mind, not knowing what to expect. I liked the first one. The second one was okay. I mean, I am what I call a movie prude, Jeff. It takes a lot to impress me on a movie. It takes a lot.
Listen back there, he really is.
Yeah, I know I am. But it takes a lot for me to really enjoy a movie. Story means everything, and for me, I expect comedy in certain areas in a movie, and it's like, that's not the right point. That's not the right area for that, you know. And then at other times, it's like, God, that was smart. That's so funny.
And I think the reason you didn't like is because it started out, the first two movies were quite serious. Yeah. And then it took a whole different direction. Yeah. Guardians started out with being that witty, you know, sarcastic. So you expect that, you know, when that's how those characters have been developed to us. And that's what we expect from it. Right. And with Thor, it wasn't that way. So it's like, well, they're trying to make Thor too much like Guardians of the Galaxy, or trying to bring a comic relief that just didn't seem to fit his character. I think maybe that's what you're not
what she said.
That's just my theory. So
no, that was good. I remember watching it for the first time being shocked. Like people already loved it by the time I'd seen it, and I watched it, and it was nothing like I expected. And I really didn't love it the first time. I made myself watch it again, and I love it now. I love Chris Pratt's great. All the characters are great. I mean, I guess I'm going to sound like you. It was so not what I expected. I don't even know what I expected, but it was certainly wasn't that. But I've grown to love the characters and whatever. It is what it is. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. You know, Disney has gone. I'm a Star Wars nut, as I've said already. And so when they bought Disney, I was all in. Give me more movies. Give me as many as you want. Thank you. Please, may I have another? And then the MCU, you know, you're right. It's going to change greatly. They bring in Captain Marvel. They've got all these, and I guess that's where I was going with some of that. They have all these other characters. I remember when I heard they're making an Ant-Man movie, and I'm like, boy, they're jumping the shark there. No, man, it's worked out. Like it's a big character. People talk about him without laughing now, because I think that actor was Paul Rudd. He did a great job, and but everybody expects that character to have a vital part in here in a week and a half, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. And I think Meg says it in the chat, and she's right. What helped me with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies was I remember going to see it, and the opening scene when he goes on that planet to get the orb, and he puts his ears on, and they start playing the music. And I'm like laughing because I'm like, I know that song. That's like a 1975 song, and it's like we're playing it, and I'm laughing, and my boys are looking at me like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Never mind."
So the start of 2 is the Heart song, right? I'm not remembering what the start of the Guardians is. What song is it?
Come and Get Your Love.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. It's like because I have that on my iTunes playlist. You know, I have a lot of those songs. Because I like retro songs and stuff, and it's like they start playing that, and I'm like, it's a good start. And all the music is 70s music. It's all that's the music from these movies.
Boy, and those songs all did real well. If you got on one of those soundtracks, your band is a happy happy day.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
So you're in the middle of a bracket right now, so you can say no. I don't want to answer that if you want to, but favorite Disney song or songs?
That's hard.
Yeah.
When You Wish Upon a Star, I think is a big one. Again, I'm you know me, I'm very traditional. I like the old stuff. It's quintessential Disney again. That's when you hear that song, what do you think of? Or you think Disney? That's Disney.
I think the Castle. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really love that song, and there's so many other songs that are out there that are fantastic. It's one of the things that makes Disney so unique is they just keep churning out new original songs all the time. And they're songs that you sing in your head in the middle of the day for no reason, just because.
Yeah.
There's so many just to choose from. But that's the one, I mean, I love I Can't Wait to Be a King in Lion King. I think that's a fun song. You Got a Friend in Me is fantastic. Prince Ali in The Genie in Aladdin is fantastic. There's so many great songs. What about you?
Mm-hmm. I love a lot of the music from The Little Mermaid. It's some of my favorites because that whole soundtrack is phenomenal. And I have, and I also have a lot of favorites from Tarzan because Mason, when he was littler, used to have us listen to it all the time. So I really love the Tarzan soundtrack as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I do too. I'm a big Phil Collins fan, and that's a great soundtrack. But your favorite movie, Walt, is probably my favorite soundtrack, The Lion King. And you mentioned at least one of those songs. But that, for me, top to bottom, that's the best soundtrack probably ever.
That's great. I know. It's fantastic music.
That's Elton John.
Yeah,
too,
that's
right?
Elton John.
Yeah. Yes.
Phil Collins, we're doing really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so let's talk about that. Favorite movie outside of the Disney genre. And I asked because you mentioned a few times that you're a movie connoisseur.
That's going to take this on a skew you don't want to go on, Jeff.
Well, let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Meg, don't say anything.
No, that's not true. No. But I'll put it to you this way. With movies, for me, I have to feel something in a movie. Well, especially with a movie that I'm going in, and if it's not a comedy, I'm expecting emotion. Okay, I want to feel it here. I've always said The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King is my favorite movie of all time, followed extremely closely by Shawshank, The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay,
Amazing.
Two great movies with tons of emotion, fantastic acting, great scenes, and they're two totally different movies. I mean, Return of the King is epic, major battles, CGI, your big budget, and Shawshank is this little movie with great stars that made no money at the box office, but is highly acclaimed. They're just great movies.
Yeah.
Yep, they're just great movies, and they're my two favorites.
Those are great picks. Those are great. Melissa, but what about you?
Yeah, we're kind of on the same page. Him and I are very similar with that. So I was thinking Shawshank as soon as you brought that up because I didn't want to say Lord of the Rings, and then of course he had to say it. So he took that from me. Thank you, dear. No, but actually another movie I really enjoy is Big Fish.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
never
ever
seen that movie.
It's actually
See that movie.
really good. It's a tearjerker.
See that movie, you'll love it.
That's a really good movie.
It's a good movie.
I love movies in general. I could probably list a ton, but Green Mile is really good. Another sad one.
Yeah, we're more when I do top tens on stuff like this, people always get on me because there's very few, if any, comedies. Comedies to me aren't great movies. They're great comedies. It's different for me. I don't know why. I mean, like I think one of the top 10 for me is Skyfall, the Bond movie. I love Skyfall. I think that's probably the best Bond movie ever.
We were talking about that the other day. I don't enjoy James Bond movies. You know
what? And that's totally fine. There's so many people that say that, and it's that's what makes all this kind of stuff so great. Is
I agree.
For every 3 people that love it, there are 3 people that are like, meh, I could take it or leave it. Yeah, I know, it's awesome.
Meg says I don't. Jeff doesn't look at. I'm laughing out loud for real. Somebody typed it out loud for me. Jeff doesn't like Friends either. I like you guys.
That's funny. Yeah, he didn't like Friends. Oh, I forgot.
You talking about the TV show Friends?
Yeah.
I think she's talking about the TV show Friends, and probably she's got that
that psychological thing going.
Yeah, I will say it though. Friends is horrible. Sorry. And watch, the chat will all go away. What are we at? 25. We'll be at 3 in every second. But yeah, no, I'm not down. For me, it would be Godfather, and then I love Field of Dreams, that kind of stuff. But
sure,
yeah, good stuff.
Godfather's great. Godfather's great.
we've got we're at 42 after, so I'm going to try with 5 or 10 minutes left to get in the chat and let them ask you guys some questions. So before we get to that point, where else can they find you? What else? So YouTube is where I know you, but podcasting is someplace you want people to go find you. I've sent you messages on Instagram that I think you're probably not as active on Instagram as you are on Twitter and Facebook. Is that a fair way to say that?
Yes, for now, but we're getting more active on Instagram. So I'm checking it daily more and more. We're putting more pictures out there. So that's becoming more of a thing. So you can definitely find us and contact us that way. But Instagram, you can find us on Facebook, and you can find us on Twitter, and of course YouTube for now. We're very active on both. Twitter's the least active, but that's catching up. I mean, Instagram. Twitter, for the longest time, we didn't even touch Twitter. We were at like 40 followers. And then we got active on it, and now we're almost at 600. So
yeah. And then talk about your Facebook, because you're clearly, you've got a pretty good community going over there on Facebook, yes?
Yeah, it's you find us on Facebook. It's there's another MouseTalk on Facebook, so it's MouseTalk 411.
Yeah, I'll throw that link in there right now. Here comes the link.
This person had it first, but it's MouseTalk 411, and you know, we put all our Mouse Madness matchups go in there, and we talk about stuff in there. We put something on there the other day asking people how long until your next trip and where you're from. We got tons of people saying they're from this state, this country, this country. That was fun. So it's a lot of interaction on Facebook. Yep. Yeah. I
love that. And so there's a bunch of questions. I didn't even look at my list because I knew it would go fast, and we got the 3 of us. And so there's all these other things I want to ask you. So I'm gonna hit you with a quick few. Favorite place to eat in the in Disney?
Le Cellier.
Ooh, I don't even know that place.
Le Cellier?
Where's
that?
Canada? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I've not eaten there, but I know it. Okay, yeah.
What about you?
I can't pick a favorite.
Oh my God. Come on, Melissa. She's so
putting you on the spot.
Go ahead.
No, I like everything. Via Napoli.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Liberty Tree Tavern.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Be Our Guest.
Be Our Guest.
At least, but we haven't tried it since they changed the menu. So
yeah.
If you can only get one fast pass at all the 4 in Orlando, which one do you get at all 4 of the parks?
At Magic Kingdom, if I'm gonna get a fast pass, I'm gonna get for probably Mine Train, because it's the hardest fast pass to get. At Epcot, I'm gonna fast pass Soarin'. At Hollywood Studios, I'm gonna fast pass probably Slinky right now.
What you meant to say is the Millennium Falcon, but hey, not yet.
Well, but that's not open yet. That's open, you're right. And then over at Animal Kingdom, it's going to be Everest for me.
Yeah.
Mine are all the same, except for Animal Kingdom. It would be Flight of Passage.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet.
What? Oh, that's a great ride.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Favorite Disney memory?
Mine's easy. It was our first trip. I tell this all the time. We're there. We went with my mom and dad. They treated us. Remember, Melissa and I never went to Disney World. I was 28. 27. First time going to Disney. Never went as a kid. Melissa was 23, 24. So we're there. It's our first day. My sisters are there with their kids. We're there with our son, Walter. My mom and dad are there. And we're sitting in Cinderella's royal table. And we're having breakfast. And I look over, and my mom and dad are crying.
Oh.
And I'm like, what's wrong? What are you crying for? And they're like, nothing's wrong. He said, this is fantastic. And that was kind of when the bug hit me. I get choked up thinking about it now.
If you make me cry on my own live stream, I am so not your friend anymore.
They were just so happy that they could give us that and take us to the most magical place on earth, that it just hit them. And they were like, it doesn't get any better.
And I can't top that. So.
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was our best moment for us, and just taking our kids. And there's nothing like seeing your children experiencing Disney World and enjoying it and seeing the look in their eyes. There's nothing like it. There's just nothing like it.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get one out of you anyway, Melissa.
Well, it's very similar, because I think for me, not being able to go as a child, and I loved everything Disney growing up. We both came from families where, we didn't have a whole lot of money. And just walking in there and seeing the castle for the first time, I remember just walking down Main Street. And that's when the Main Street Bakery was the Main Street Bakery, not a Starbucks. And they had the smells coming out of there, wherever they were pumping them out from. And it was, I still remember it. I just it smelled like chocolate chip cookies, and seeing the castle. And I was like, in awe.
And there was like nobody in the park.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I just felt like a little kid. And it was just really amazing for me. So again, I was just so appreciative that his parents did that for us, because it's something I'll never forget. So
that's so cool.
And it's brought us to where we are now, basically.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Hey, now we're addicted.
I'll tell you what, you make a good point. I'm always like, I don't notice smells every moment of every day, but boy, does Disney, I don't know, like their smell marketing, if that's a thing,
They know
Disney is all over that. Like I like
everything.
Like, do you
It's
know
true.
if I say the Pirates of the Caribbean water smell, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
That's
Their trash smells good.
crazy. I love it. I love it. The best smelling bathroom, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be weird. The best smelling bathroom in the history of the planet is in the Polynesian. Like I went in there, and like when I came back out, my family's like, "What? Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm great. Are you kidding me? I was just smelling the bathroom. It was nuts." So I mean, and whoever invented those candles that smell like in here, I know Corey Fiasco's got a link for you, but I've never bought one of those yet. I have no doubt that once I do, I will need a third or fourth or fifth job because.
Right. Yeah. That's why I won't. I bought one as a gift for someone, but I've yet to buy one for ourselves because you're exactly right. I don't need something else I can't live without.
Yes, that's very true. Like I collect so much Disney stuff, it's stupid, and I can't find it. I don't have room for another in my wallet. Let's put it that way.
You said you're moving, so that means you'll have more space to collect more things. Or are you down?
Yeah, it kind of does, but I'm trying. So the room I'm in now is kind of my studio. We used to call it the man cave. Now I call it the studio, and I'm trying so hard to downsize immensely, and it's not possible.
Right. It's your passion.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Paula, my wife, is the best with that. When we moved from California, we had a friend who worked for Disney. He's since passed, but his wife still works for Disney. But he collected Disney things like crazy, and he had every room in his house was a different themed Disney thing. And so I said, "Come on over. Anything that you can use that I'm not totally in love with, take." And he took a lot of it, and I'm really glad because it's in his family still. But it's too much. You can't. Like, and Disney comes out with news. Like, I go in the Disney store a lot, and I don't leave empty-handed, and I don't have space for it. So it's a little bit stupid, but whatever. It is what it is. So we've got 10 minutes left. I'm definitely going to stop on the hour because out of respect for my friends, Disney Life for Me's channel. Sure. So if you're in the chat and you're having a good time, get over to their channels. I put their links in there. Make sure you're subscribed to them. Check out their Insta. Check out their Facebook page, which is really hopping. Check out their Insta, which they're building up. They just said. I want to ask again where they can find the podcast. I feel like you just said it's just on YouTube for now. Is that right?
Yes, just for now on YouTube. Yep, absolutely. And as we get more into it, and if we expand it to the actual podcasting sites, we'll let you know. Did we lose him?
Yeah, we lost you.
What would you like for me? Stream it usually starts right on the.
Jeff, I think are you still there?
I
think we lost him.
We've only got robot Jeff.
I think we might have lost Jeff, everybody. Hang in there. Anybody has any questions in the chat, let me know.
Still here. Can you hear me?
It's robot Jeff.
It is robot Jeff, man.
It's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it. That's hilarious, Joey.
Oh, no.
I think Jeff's trying to sing in the background. Jeff, this might be your best watch yet. Look, we're losing people. Fix it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you're so funny.
Now we're frozen. Too.
Now we're frozen right mid-laugh.
And me trying to fix my tank top for the 50th time.
Hey, we're here.
We're not
I don't think Jeff's here, but we're here. Jeff, did we lose you? I think we lost Jeff, guys. If you're still out there, first off, thank you, everybody, for joining us. Uh-oh. Angela. Oh. Does anybody have any questions in the chat?
If you can hear us, ask us a question.
Oh,
This is so
no.
funny. Most memorable
Can you see
DisTube
me yet?
ever.
Oh, that's horrible, Timothy. He sounds like I felt when I was having a grand seizure. That's awful. That's not funny.
Do you guys hear that though? Is it just
MouseTalk
me?
takeover. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we see you too. MouseTalk takeover. It's true. So hi everybody. Welcome to Dole Whip Dad. Oh my God, I think we lost him. Jeff, we're still here. So we're going to ask ourselves questions.
Well, Steve asked us what our questions are. I mean, what Steve asked.
What are our plans for August, Steve? I don't know.
To meet you.
And everybody else. We're going to have a good time in August. Our plans in August are to find a way to get Meg down there so that we have everybody down there. That's the plan.
Hi, Nacho.
Hi and hi, wife.
Oh, brother. Now it is.
No, that's all right. No problem. Well, anybody, Jeff's going to cut us off in a second here. So thanks for joining. I hope you guys had a good time with it. And Jeff, if you want to take it and knock it out of there, that's no problem. Thanks, everybody. Sorry for the difficulties.
That's funny. Miguel says, this is awkward. Arjohn's.
Is Arjohn's in
Something
here?
in August.
Nothing.
We're coming down to see
We are
Arjohn's.
invading you in
That's right.
August, Arjohn's. That's what's happening,
Taking
Richard.
over your territory.
At least for a couple weeks, anyway.
Good night, all.
Good night, all. Yeah, I know.
Thanks for
Yeah,
reminding
Thank
us.
you. I know. Jeff, are you still there? I can't see you. If you can see us, we can't see you, buddy.
No, thank you for having us, Jeff.
Yes.
You can hear us. Here, type it in. Oh.
That's all right. Thank you all
Dougie,
very
I
much.
meant that to us. I don't know who he was talking to. Doug, you love somebody. If you love us, we love you too.
We love you too, guys. I'll taking over more channels. You don't want that, trust me. No, I'm just kidding. We thank everybody for joining us tonight. I hope you all had a good time.
Oh, wait.
All right.
No, we lost him, I think. And Robot Jeff thanked you too, everybody.